Are you guys like so sick of putting in all of this time? You're practicing, you're doing all the right things, you're doing training aids, you're watching these videos, and spend all the time on the range, and yet you get nothing in return. Sometimes, if we're truly honest, you're actually going backwards. How would you like to know how to cut your practice time in half, but yet accelerate your results? If that's you, stick around. Hey guys, we're Bo and Shannon, and we are the co-founders of School of Lifetime Low Rounds and In the Zone Academy. Hey, look, guys, we're on a mission to help 100,000 golfers to shoot their new lifetime low rounds, and we are serious about letting you be the next one. Now, if you want to join us on this journey, please make sure you subscribe, like this video, comment below, because look, we know there are many golfers out there that are struggling. They're on the verge of quitting the game, or they just have hit a plateau and they're so sick and frustrated. Some of you may be embarrassing yourselves. Look, we don't want you to be one of them. This game should be fun, so make sure you join us on this journey so we can get you to that next level. With that said, let's jump in to today's video.
Hey guys, so how do you cut your practice time in half? Are you serious right now? Your physical practice time in half, where you're having to get up, go to the driving range, and swing your club for hours and hours. How do you cut that time in half? Well, it's simple as this. We actually had a video where we talked about mental imagery and doing mental imagery and stuff like that. We're going to have that in the links where you can go back and revisit that. No, we're not going to cover everything that we covered there, but here's a little trick that we have learned and now be able to cut that practice time in half. The next time you're at the range and you're going through, you're swinging the club, I want you to remember how that swing felt, and then do mental imagery of that swing, of what you did. So then I want you to do mental imagery 2 times. So what you're doing is you're doing mental imagery before you do your swing, and then you're doing mental imagery after your swing. And so you're doing it over and over again. So really, for every time you swing, you're doing mental imagery twice. Reason why we're doing this is we're preparing your mind and body to go through it actually doesn't know the difference if you're actually making the swing or not when you're doing mental imagery, because it's working in with that part of your leg movement and limb movement of your brain, and it's tricking your body every single time. So what you're doing is you're getting your body going through the same exercises as if you're actually doing it. So what we're trying to do is get that feeling dialed in, okay, to your swing. So then what you do is you take that and you can apply it away from the course, just like you're going to the gym. You're getting mental reps in and doing the same thing. And Bo, give us an example of like how you would do that at the house, for example.
Yeah, so guys, like one of the cool things that we're trying to instill in you is when you're doing these practical reps at the range and you're getting a mental imagery of, maybe the swing that you're currently working on, and you're working on something and you see it perfectly, you hit a really good shot, and then you're doing it again. Once that's starting to like sink in and you're away from the course, one of the amazing things you can do is literally as I'm sitting right here in my office, one of the things I can do is start actually getting mental reps in. So it'd be as simple as closing my eyes, and at the very basic level of what we teach in our program, one of the things that you can do is literally close your eyes and then revisit what was that feeling like, and actually see yourself mentally on the range. And kind of going back to that video again, we go deeper into that, but I'm engaging all my senses while I'm doing this. I'm getting a sense of what does it smell like, what does maybe the air or wind feel like. Maybe I can see where the range targets are. I'm getting very vivid as far as what I am seeing around me as I'm doing this, which is very important when you're at the range and you're working on this. But then when you're away from it, you can recreate that environment. And so it makes it stronger for your body to actually respond. And guys, there's so much research. You can go down this rabbit hole if you'd like. But trust us in the fact that there have been so many studies out there, one in particular, where they have taken downhill skiers, hooked up electrodes to their body, and as they talk to skier and going through an actual downhill um, basically mental imagery session of them going through all the different turns, even though they're physically are not moving any of their limbs, their muscles are still firing. That's the beautiful thing in this. We can still get actual physical reps, so to speak, while we're actually mentally doing it. And so that's the beautiful thing about how you can increase your number of reps, but also cutting your practice time in half.
Yeah, that absolutely. You can cut it in half, but here's the thing: it's about getting the work done, and so doing it away from the course. You're going to learn it because what's going to happen is that the biggest thing is this is like what Bo was talking about with your environment, and feeling it like if it's hot outside or you're feeling sweat going down, the attention to detail has to be very huge, but also the feeling of the swing, like the pressure, the movement, and everything like that. Getting that dialed in when you're getting it in the mental reps in is you are actually creating what they call muscle memory, so to speak, in your brain. So then what happens is it'll apply when you go out onto the course. Explained where you don't rise to the occasion, you sink to the level of your training. You are sinking to the level of your training because you have trained your mind and your body over and over and over again. For example, is it easier to get mental reps in away from the course? You could do 100 mental reps in 15 minutes, but can you do 100 physical reps out at the course in 15 minutes? Probably not. That's crazy. You know what I mean? So now you're cutting that time in half, and then you're developing that muscle memory to where you're getting out there and you're having a rock solid swing with confidence.
100%. And guys, let me give you one quick practical example of this. An amazing testimonial came out of this when we actually shared it with one of my students who was a lifelong slicer of the ball. Now, get this, he'd been slicing the ball for over 20 years. Typically on driver, it's about 30, 40-yard slice. And here's the amazing thing. When he and I first started working together, I showed him the rules on how to create a draw. So I showed him the technique that is proper to create a draw. I saw him only twice. Now, we reduced it in the physical time of us working together by about 20 yards. We saw a pretty strong fade about 20 yards. Pretty big jump already, which was nice. But here's the thing, because he worked at the post office and because I didn't see him again until March, which is about 5 months later, here's the amazing thing. When I saw him in March, his first 7 shots, and get this, he only played one time and practiced one time in those 5 months. His first 7 shots warm up were 5 yard baby draws. Now, I asked him, what have you been doing? Because I had touched base with him throughout the winter months and I was asking, hey, how's things going? I'll check in with my students. And he said, yeah, I've only played one time, practiced one time. And I said, how in the world did you accomplish this, Dell? And he said, look, when you showed me how to do mental reps, one of the things I did, every time I had downtime throughout the day of working, I would just sit there and just do the perfect mental rep of what I needed to do to hit a draw all day long. And guys, that was the key to his transformation in his game. And it's not only his game, we also have a pretty cool testimony we're going to share with you right now of one of our tour clients that we worked with, where we showed her how to supplement her physical reps and make her first 2 cuts back after a year off from an injury. Make sure to check this out.
Hey guys, I want to talk to you about something that no one ever talks about in golf, and that is mental training. 2 months ago, I joined this program called In the Zone Mental Training with Bo Watson and Shannon Chusky. It was pretty amazing because I hadn't competed in a tour event in a year. And so I was getting ready. I had about a month left before my first competition. And on top of that, as you guys know, I'm injured. I have problems with my right tendon on my wrist. So my practice time was very, very limited. And after talking to both of them a couple times, I really felt like they had some great insights and they were very, very genuine. So I gave the program a try and I made the cut in both the Scottish and the British Open. Well, of course, normally my goals are higher than just making the cut, but considering I haven't competed in 1 year and I also couldn't practice nearly as much as I'd want to, I thought that was a pretty good success. I really do believe that this works. And I know for sure it's going to help your game.
So guys, here's the thing. We've heard this saying over and over again. I've said it over and over again, but it's not true. Practice makes perfect. It's not true. We've been deceived for all these years. Practice does not make perfect, because if you're not having perfect practice, I believe perfect practice is what makes it perfect, right? So when you're doing your mental imagery, guess what? It's perfect practice. It's perfect practice. You're getting it dialed in every single time. And that's what you're doing when you're getting it. You're getting that perfect practice time in, and it's actually increasing your level of skill, just like you heard about Dale just a second ago from Bo. That's amazing. And so this is the perfect practice, is getting those mental reps in. It's like going to the gym and getting a mental workout, so to speak, and then you're seeing the results on the course. Isn't that right, Bo?
100%. And guys, one little piece I want to share on this. We're about to release a book that we're very excited about called Consistent Golf Secrets. And I want to share a little excerpt from that from James Seekman. James is a big guy in terms of the short game. You guys probably already very aware of his knowledge and expertise in the short game and wedge game. And one of the amazing things that he shared toward the end of his presentation, and also what we're sharing in the book, was he talked about it's important to definitely understand the skill and the technique, but he said there is another element to this that is extremely important, and that is also correlating that with strong mental practice. The problem that he saw in today's game is that literally very few golfers out there are actually conjoining their physical practice with the mental skills. And so what we have to do is make sure that we're also pairing that. And when you do that, that's when some amazing things start happening. And that's when you start drastically cutting your practice in half, and sometimes in as little as 20 to 30% of what you used to be doing. That's what we teach in our program. So if you're enjoying this and you're like, guys, I want to learn more, I want to definitely take you up on coaching and seeing how I can get my game to the next level and really unlocking your true potential that you have. You got more gas in the tank, and you're like, I just need to figure out what is that last puzzle piece that's missing. Well, guys, we want to invite you. Make sure you click the link below, schedule a call with us. We'll do a deep dive in your game, find out what's working, what's not. And then more importantly, we're going to give you some strategies that you can immediately walk away. It's a win-win situation. But if you do find that, hey, it is a fit to work with us, you will be in good company, because we have helped already 300 clients plus drop 6.7 shots off their game in 90 days or less. So if that's of interest to you, again, we invite you, definitely book that link or schedule that call, and we'll see you guys on the next video.